Action.
Why you always say action?
Because you need me to.
You don't ever say cut. Anyway, so you guys haven't seen a video in quite a while because basically we've been doing a lot of work to the car. So sitting down doing the math and trying to figure out what the best thing, the best combination for what we're trying to do, I changed it. And this is going to be hard for everybody to believe because this is almost as big. Well, this is probably bigger than when I went from nitrous to ProCharger. So you guys get to see it first time. Now it has twins. Walk around the front of the car. And I want to say that without Manny Alvarez, the guys at HPP, we never would have pulled this off because he took the car, they mounted the turbos, did all the cold side, the hot side, built the headers, and did it in the last week and a half. So there's been a lot of ball busting. Now it's down. We got to do the plumbing, do some rewiring. But one of the changes that brought this on is Brian Macy. For those of you guys that don't know Brian Macy's a tuner from the West Coast, does a lot of stuff out in Havasu. So I met Brian actually on Drag Week in 2012. He does a lot of turbo stuff. He does ProCharger stuff. He does a lot of boats, but he actually used to be an instructor at EFI Institute? EFI University. So the only reason I haven't talked to Brian about coming and helping me with this car before is because honestly, I didn't think he'd sign up for this shit show and the kind of schedule that this thing runs. And I guess I caught him at just the right time. So when we're sitting there, that or I tricked him, one of the two.
Right.
So Brian does a lot. He likes turbos. He does a lot of turbo stuff. So we got to looking at weight versus what the power we can make and the power management. The turbo thing. These actually, I called Precision and ordered these turbos 3 or 4 months. What was it, 3 months ago? 4 months ago?
June. Whenever that
Whenever
was.
June was. Because I've been a Precision dealer for 16 years, as long as I've been a ProCharger dealer. And I've had some twin turbo cars, but nothing on this level. You know, the Corvette made 1,800. My Nova made about 1,800. This thing should make, what's it capable of making with the turbos?
The motor, I would make 35 pretty easy.
So when we were discussing this at Idaho, I made the decision to change it to turbos because we'd rather have more power on tap and not be limited. And this is Brian's wheelhouse is turbos. So he's coming on. He didn't ask me to change it. It was my decision to change it, but I just want to try something different. So that's been all the ass busting that's been going on. And if it wasn't for the guys at Turbo Smart and Wade at Race Part Solutions, Stainless Works, we wouldn't been able to pull this off because everybody's kind of jumped through their ass over the last 2 weeks to make this thing come together. We're going to try to get it done for Idaho or for Ohio, but that's what, 5 days away, and we still got a lot of work to do. So that's the goal we're going to go for, but until this car does everything it should do, we're not going to bring it out. So it may be North Carolina before we bring it out. We got a lot of testing, a lot of plumbing, a lot of wiring. Can't forget, got to give a shout out to Mark Mickey and Wendell, because Mark Mickey hasn't been selling just transmission parts. He sells transmissions. And I had to lean on my boy Ryan to call Mark and pull a favor. And Mark got us the stuff. Didn't give it to us, but sold us the stuff to be able to convert both my transmissions, because switching twin turbos is not just throwing a pair of turbos on being done. Marty Chance had to build me a new converter. I mean, we're basically starting out with a whole new combination, other than what you said about the already having data on the
Yeah, we already got data for ProCharger, so we're gonna try and mimic the same race we had, just with turbos.
You said you've never had that before, going from a ProCharger to a turbo, have you?
No.
But there's still, you know, turbos make power to totally different. It's a totally different kind of power. It comes on differently, but that's why I went with smaller turbos. With this combination, we can weigh 2,600 pounds. We had to weigh 2,500 with a 136 and 2,600 with a 140. So I don't know, just doing the math on it, moving some weight around on the car. This is just something I've been wanting to try for a while, and it was the time to do it. When Brian came on, that pretty much made up my mind, because I don't know nothing about them. I mean, I can tune my Pro Charger car. I can make it run, but I have no idea how to make this shit work, and Brian does. Plus, the other factor was Stacy. So Stacy wanted to do something because everybody's saying, well, turbos are a lot less maintenance. And she was all about maintenance because Stacy figures maintenance costs money, money goes down the road. So I think that was an economic decision on what does everybody call you, Mama Reaper's part?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm super excited about it. The other thing is I have a learning curve to learn how to drive a turbo car on this level, because this isn't like my Corvette or like my Nova, you know, 1,800 horsepower. This is 3,500 horsepower. So that's the other thing, that I've got to learn how to drive the car all over again in a different way. But I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see what it does. So show everybody the turbos. Looks like kind of like elephant ears laid out there, don't it? With a big snorkel, big snoot.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's so much little stuff to change. And we got some wiring to do. Got a lot of work ahead of us. Got to change the camshaft in it. Got to change a lot of little stuff that you don't think is that much to do. But like I said, if it wasn't for Manny, we would have never got this done, because he basically shut his shop down and probably pissed a lot of other customers off doing this for me. And well, Brian shut his shop down in Lake Havasu. Probably got 50 boat guys pissed off at him right now to come down and help do this. So,
A couple.
huh?
At least a couple.
I remember that one guy when we were at the racetrack kept calling you. Brian goes, don't have time. Don't have time. So, guys, it's going to be interesting. I think it's a good decision. We're going to find out here pretty quick how good a decision it was. But either way, we have a lot more horsepower on tap. Brian's done this a lot. So, and I still got Kyle Kirker, and I still got Derek Peel. So we got the team. We're trying to get the maintenance down on the car and make the car more consistent. The car's pretty consistent, but we're going to try to keep from breaking parts. That's the big deal. No matter how fast it is, if it'll only make one lick, and then we have to replace parts on it. Mm-hmm. So, anything else, Stacey?
You guys stay tuned.
Stay tuned, because right now I'm making a list. I got to call Ken at Roadrunner and have you send me a bunch of fittings and hose. So tomorrow we'll be plumbing and wiring, and stay tuned. You guys will get to hear the first fire up after I change the camshaft and Brian rewires half the car.
There's about 20 things.
No, it's 20 more things.
Yeah, 20 more.
There's 20 more things to add to it. So we will keep you guys in the loop. This is why you haven't seen a video in a while. We've been trying to do this. We're out.